I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another Patreon review, this time for one of my good friends, Mike, OCP Communications. Thank you to everyone who has supported me on Patreon, as well as the people who have sent me requests via PayPal. Patreon is more of a monthly thing. PayPal is a one-time thing, anytime. If anyone ever wants to support me either way, or send in movie requests, movie topic requests, anything, the links to both will be down below. If not, no worries. But the movie he wanted me to review for this month was Scared to Death, a 1981 film. Funny enough, I did see this film a couple months ago because I was in the midst of doing that 80s horror movie marathon, and then things kind of went sideways, and I don't know if I'll ever get back to it, but I did a good bunch of them. This is one of the movies I was going to review, but when I saw it, I'm like, I don't really have much to say, so one of those films I skipped. But it's for free on Tubi TV. William Malone, this was his first film. He did it for $74,000, which is pretty impressive to make any film for just $74,000, especially a creature feature flick. And this creature definitely inspired by H.R. Giger. And I believe William Malone did the effects himself of the creature. And William Malone, he would go on to do some episodes of the TV show Freddy's Nightmares. He did the film Creature, which I enjoy, from 1985. Low budget, reminiscent of Alien and other space horror movies. But I thought Creature was a fun little flick. I liked it. And then he also did the 1999 remake House on Haunted Hill, which I think is a really good remake. One of the more underrated ones, with Jeffrey Rush and Taye Diggs. Really liked that film. He also did Fear.com, which I don't remember anything except Stephen Dorff was in it. It was like a crappy version of The Ring, only instead of a phone, it was the internet. Like instead of a phone, instead of a tape you watch a website, and then after a amount of time you die, or whatever. I barely remember that film. But like I said, this was his first movie, and it was okay. So time waster. That's really the best I could put it. The plot is pretty basic. You have this creature that lives in the sewers, comes out, has it sort of H.R. Giger sort of design. I think it's nicknamed Syngenor, which, funny enough, there was another movie that I guess is kind of a sequel to this, but not really, because it's not the same director. But you do have a movie later in the 90s called Syngenor. It looks kind of like the creature in this. I don't know how that all worked, because again, I don't think William Malone had anything to do with that. Again, I don't know all the details. But it comes out of the sewers, it stalks women, or really anybody, and kills them, takes their spinal fluid. You have this guy who's a novelist, he was an ex-cop. His buddy, who's still on duty as a cop, is trying to pull him into an investigation to help out. The former cop, again, he just wants to be writing books. One day, accidentally hits this car, meets this lady, they form a relationship. The lead guy, John Stinson, he wasn't that bad as the lead. Rough around the edges. You tell this is a first-time role for him. Again, rough around the edges, but he wasn't that bad. There were a couple moments of humor, like after accidentally hitting her car. One of the things he does is offers her a juicy fruit. I didn't mind the guy who was his buddy who played the cop. There's some decent atmosphere when you have the sequences in the sewer, which is mainly in the third act. When you do see the creature, it's a really nice design and look, practical effect-wise, considering the fact the entire film was done for $74,000. So maybe I'm giving leeway, but that's a micro budget movie. It's kind of a boring movie, sad to say. I mean, there's a little bit of atmosphere, like I said, but a lot of times you get these stalking sequences that go on way too long and just comes across as fairly boring. I mean, in the beginning, I swear there's a sequence where a woman is walking around her house that goes on for like 5 fucking minutes. And then she gets killed. And then when people get killed, because of the micro budget, you don't really see anything. So that makes the attack scenes not have as much gusto. There's definitely not much of any gore. I can't think of any gore. You get a little bit of blood that's on a Raggedy Ann doll when it kills the first woman. Kills this woman in a car. You see a little bit of blood sliding down. There's a guy that gets grabbed in the sewer and the creature's kind of with a little bit of blood. It has this little tongue thing that sticks into a woman's mouth and then pulls out and you see like a little blood in her mouth. Again, it's rather tame when it comes to gore. There's really not much gore at all. I think that if they could afford that, that would have helped. I think it's trying to be suspenseful in these sequences, but I just didn't feel the suspense. Because pretty much each time a monster did arrive, so you just, okay, when's the monster going to come? When's the monster going to come? Okay, well, it's that much of a payoff. There's a couple decent shots, directing-wise. When a woman's trying to start her car and the camera's facing the front windshield and her trying to start the car. In the back, you see the monster rise up and then walk this way. So there's some decent shots. Like I said, the lead guy, he's alright. Granted, if you had a Brad Dourif, Robert Forster, like he did in Alligator, you know, that kind of commanding actor to carry you through the scenes that the monster's on screen, I think that could have helped. The love story, I didn't buy a tremendous amount. I thought, wow, they had sex fairly quickly. Maybe not fairly quickly, 2 seconds, droosh, droosh, but you had different quickly. So I know people are like, well, Matt, why are you giving this a pass? It's the faintest pass because I've seen so much worse films. The movie looks fine, it's 1981, but has that 70s look to the cinematography, which I do like. Yeah, if you watch on Tubi TV, nice picture quality. There's a couple decent shots, I guess the best way to put it, like I mentioned, when some nice, good shots of the monster. With the script, it does a couple kind of unique things where the girlfriend, who's now become a major character, she gets attacked and then she's in a coma for like the rest of the movie. And then this other girl who I'm sorry, she's an even worse actress. She comes out of the blue. Oh, I worked with these research people and I know what it is. Like, she's just there to fill out exposition, and then she's with the hero in the third act, facing the monster in the sewers, and then the warehouse. So again, just kind of weird where the girlfriend, you think she would be one of the leads by the third act. Now it's this other girl who, yeah, I think she's a worse actress. Didn't really give a shit about her character. In the third act, you do get some decent effects. There's this age sack type of thing. As, oh no, the thing might have babies. The good guy has this gun, a 44 automat, but it doesn't do anything to the creature. Would have been nice if it, shot parts off, shot a part off here, or at least like a piece here, a piece, anything. But again, I know, low budget. I think that's his biggest downfall. It needed a bigger budget. Needed a bigger budget so it could do stuff like gore and more gusto in the kill scenes, and maybe hire. I think I read somewhere Rich Springfield was going to be the lead in this. Yeah, Rich Springfield. Yes, related to Bruce Springfield. Rich Springfield was going to be the lead, and like the day before he backed out. Who knows? Maybe Rich Springfield would have been better. I don't know. Maybe it would have been worse. The ending is not bad. They take care of the monster. They squish it, but you don't really see much of anything. Again, low budget. You think there's going to be a downbeat ending. It's not. And then I'm like, okay, is it going to be a sequel bit ending? It doesn't do that either. So I appreciate that it wasn't a downbeat and really wasn't a sequel bait ending. At least I don't think so. Maybe other people interpret it differently. I didn't think it was. It has a lot of issues. I mean, if you're a big creature feature fan like I am, I mean, I'll take this over the Sci-Fi Channel, Dino Croc shit, Super Gator versus Masturbator, or whatever the fuck those movies are, and SYFY. Yeah, this at least, it has a 70s atmosphere, cinematography look, feel. It's only 80 some minutes. Like I said, the lead guy's not bad. The monster looks cool. It's just, if you're looking for action, if you're looking for gore, if you're looking for gusto in the kills, if you're looking for a big payoff ending with action, you're not really getting it. They fire the creature a couple times in the sewer. They escape. They go in the warehouse. Creature breaks through a couple things. His buddy shotguns it at one point. Leads it to where it is. The scientist lady drops the thing. Almost like Terminator. Well, not quite like Terminator, but I don't know, just something being dropped on it reminded me of Terminator. Listen, it's maybe if you don't have low expectations, or you're just a really big fan of creature features, you'll like it more than me. But I think of films like this, I mean, I'd rather go watch Watchers 2, which some of its third act took place in the sewers, or The Terror Within. That wasn't the sewer, but underground creature feature. Or like various other creature feature films out there that I do think are better. There's a lot worse than this. There's a lot better than this. Even that micro budget film, I forget what the hell it was called. The Strangeness, which I know not a lot happened, but I particularly like the third act of The Strangeness. And that's a micro budget. That one I would say I liked more than this, because granted the acting wasn't good in that. I mean, I reviewed The Strangeness for those wondering. It's on the channel. But I did think that was a movie that got better, has some really good John Carpenter type music in it. This ho-hum, it didn't make me mad, didn't make me angry, didn't do anything that stupid where he pulled bullshit things out of his ass, downbeat endings, sequel bait endings, unlikable lead character. It didn't do any of that. It's just, yeah. William Malone would go on to do better work with Creature. Creature feature flight, I think, is much better than this, because he actually had a bit more of a budget to play with compared to this. But for a $74,000 movie, it's still kind of impressive what you're able to do during that time period with that small chunk of change. So, give a bit of credit, but it's not a great or, to me, even that good of a film. It's meh. Mediocre, time waster, best way for me to put it, but that's just me. But thanks for watching, take care, and we will see you for more reviews later.